Hello, my name is Ben.
And my name is Josh.
And welcome back to FPL Graduates. It's Friday again, Josh. It's FPL Fridays. The weeks are coming thick and fast, aren't they?
Yeah, they are indeed. It's literally FPL action constantly going 24/7. We love to see it.
Yeah, we really do. We got some special guests on today. Not just one, but two guests. FPL Vicki is here. And we've got FPL Vicki's husband, Dinesh. Welcome to the FPL Graduates live stream. Welcome to FPL Fridays. How are you both doing?
Hi guys, thanks for having us over. We are doing really good. Thanks for accommodating and pushing the live stream much earlier. I know it's like pretty early there, but it's 10:30 p.m. right now. So it's a Friday, so it's good to chill back and just have this chit-chat session with you guys. Looking forward.
Yeah, it should be a good one. Loads of stuff to cover, so we'll get straight into it. So obviously, it's interesting because one of you's a Liverpool fan, one of you's a United fan. So how did you both get into supporting those teams?
Yeah, so there is a rivalry between us. Like, there's always like disagreement, especially last season when Liverpool was doing really well. Dinesh was kind of a bit bitter, but there's always this rivalry, right? So the thing for me is that I've always been supporting Liverpool since I was like 12. So it's because mainly my mom and my uncles, they used to support Liverpool. In Singapore, we have local clubs, but we don't really follow local clubs. We are more into European footballs and stuff. So I think that's how my allegiance towards Liverpool form. And it's gradually, in Singapore, there's only like Liverpool, United, Chelsea, and a bit of City fans. I think these are the four major group of fans in Singapore. So yeah, the majority is of course Liverpool and United, and yeah, we each fall in one category. So still we have our friends and we have like mutual friends who like belong in each groups. So it's pretty fun. Like it's been good.
Yeah, good stuff. So Ben, do you want to crack on with the rest of the show?
First of all, Dinesh, I want to know why you support Man United, because I'm interested in the dynamic.
Look at him.
Okay. Well, basically, like what Vicki mentioned, during our times, when I was probably like maybe 7 or 8 years old, in Singapore, usually we don't get like broadcasts of like all 20 games. All 10 games. So at most, there's like maybe 1 or 2 games that they show, and it's usually either a United game or a Liverpool game. So when I was younger, like my dad would be watching either Liverpool game or United game, and when I saw United play, I was like, I was really taken aback by, even though when I was young, I could really understand the way they played, and it was just like miles above any other club, and it was exciting to watch them play and stuff, and that's when I realized like, okay, if there's one club that I'm going to support, it's going to be United, and watching players like I think at that time was like Beckham, Scholes, the Neville brothers, yeah. So it was really interesting. Like not forgetting Andy Cole, Dwight York.
Yeah, you made the right decision in my eyes, anyway, mate.
Yeah, I have no regrets on that. Yeah.
I can't believe somehow again we've managed to have more United fans on this show. It's getting up there. We need to find some maybe some different fans for Josh to not get along so well with. But we'll move on now. Liverpool and Manchester United assets. Vicki, we'll talk to you first about the Liverpool assets. In terms of FPL, are we looking at any Liverpool assets right now?
Well, to be honest, I had only Robertson and Salah in the very beginning. But since Liverpool have not been keeping any clean sheets, Robbo got to be transferred out for a cheaper defender. And I have a very how do I say it, like a weakness towards Salah. Like I can't transfer Salah out no matter how badly he does. So I guess like right now I think the only player that I'm looking at is just Salah, or maybe we could look at Jota. He's coming back, right? He played the last game against Chelsea, and so maybe he's someone we could keep an eye out. Like he was doing pretty well before his injury, so I think he would be someone we could look out for. And currently, the one who's doing quite well, Trent looks a bit more attacking. I think he's found his form. Yeah. if we're looking at their fixtures for the next few weeks, Liverpool's fixtures looks a bit easy on eyes on paper, but their form isn't the best. So if we're not too afraid to go for the defenders, we could look at Trent. Or if people are afraid of like not owning Salah, we could just get him just for his EO, although it's a bit pricey and all.
Yeah. It's interesting you mentioned Salah, and obviously we're going to move on to the United assets now. Obviously Salah and Bruno, massive debate about them right now, which we'll obviously talk about later in the show. But yeah, what United assets would you go for?
Okay, at the moment, based on United players, I only own Bruno and Shaw. Yeah, I just got in Shaw last week. It has paid off so far. I mean, keeping Bruno since like probably game week 12 or 13. Even though I feel that they have like a couple of tough games coming up over the next few game weeks, I feel that I might still keep Bruno, but I'm still leaning towards transferring Shaw out, for maybe a cheaper defender, someone who has like easier fixtures and stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I've got the same two as you, Luke Shaw and Bruno. It's interesting what to do because obviously with United, obviously they're not scoring goals, but they seem to be keeping clean sheets. So in FPL terms, that's obviously music to your ears, isn't it? So it's interesting. And obviously if United do score a goal, Bruno's usually involved. So it's really tough decisions to be made. And same with Salah with Liverpool. Usually when Liverpool score, he seems to be on the score sheet or getting the assists. So difficult to make decisions. But yeah, we'll move on.
Yeah, I mean, as well as that, you got to think about the value you got in Bruno. A lot of FPL players have a really good value in Bruno Fernandez. I know I do. I think I'll lose 0.6 million if I sell him at the moment. So a lot of people selling him, but will they be able to afford to bring him back in if he starts to get into good form again? That's the key question there. Now, we'll go into game week 26, a little review of it. Josh, how did you do?
Yeah, is that my team? That's my team for this week. Jeez, getting too ahead.
Getting a bit ahead of yourself there.
85 points this week, so not really great considering I played my bench boost. We'll get onto the bench in a minute. Took a hit as well, so we're looking at really 81 points. So we had Emi Martinez in goal, 12-pointer. Over the two games, I would have took that before the game week started, but obviously he had a really good game against Leeds, and then they lost to Sheffield United. Sort of thought that would be the other way around before going ahead into the game week. El Mohammadi was just there because obviously Matty Cash was injured, so I brought him in on my wild card. Thankfully, he played both games. I thought he wouldn't even play either game because we heard that Matty Cash was back in training, so that was ace. As I mentioned, Luke Shaw's in my team, 2 clean sheets. I'll happily take that, single-handedly carrying me through this awful game week. Cancelo, obviously that clean sheet wipeout with Connor Cody's goal against Wolves. Bit annoying considering Stones and Diaz obviously got those goals, so bit annoying there considering he was the lowest scorer out of those 3. Bruno captain let me down. Obviously two 6-pointers in effect with the captaincy. United just looked so leggy and lethargic. It was just not good to watch either of those games. The Chelsea game, obviously, if that's a penalty, maybe looking at maybe a different game week. But obviously, so many weird decisions going on right now. Brought in Bernardo Silva for a little punt this week. Obviously, he had Maddison and obviously he got injured. So I thought, why not try him? Should have brought in Mahrez in hindsight, but Bernardo Silva I thought looked quite good and was maybe unlucky not to score. Mo Salah, disappointing for 12 million, like we've said, should be probably returning a lot more than 5 points in a double game week. Gundogan, him getting that cheeky assist in the last 8 minutes that he played was unreal. Was not expecting really anything from him. And then obviously Bamford blank, Calvert-Lewin blanked in both games, which is really disheartening considering Richarlison scored twice. I know Glenn would be loving that. And then obviously Harry Kane, very disappointing, only scoring 1 goal when we see the likes of Bale and Son obviously go on to score loads. And then Areola pretty much saving the bench boost with 8 points because Stewart, Rafinha and White all blanked. Brighton losing 1-0 to West Brom was not ideal for me in that bench boost. And same with Leeds, just not being able to create against Villa.
Yeah, I mean, 81 points technically.
Yeah.
It's not the worst. It gives you probably a slight green arrow, maybe.
Yeah, it's a 10k green arrow, and considering I only got 2 attacking returns this week, I think I'll run away with that.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's really good to see the green arrows this week, especially. I mean, it was the biggest like double game week, right, ever. So much of expectations, and I mean, I think a lot of people were just disappointed with the returns of a lot of the assets, especially. I mean, I think we all know that City players are going to be rotated from now onwards. So I think something that we just have to take a risk whether we want to go with one or just three of them,
Yeah, totally agree with that. Yeah, 100%.
Right, should we get my team out the way then, and then
Go
we
on
can
then.
get into our guest teams. So this is my team for this week. 82 points overall. I didn't take a hit, so I somehow beat Josh this week in terms of points. I hit the triple captaincy chip. I mean, Areola in goal, 8 points. I expected at least a clean sheet, and I got one, so I'm quite happy with that. Unlucky not to get any save points as well. Across the back line, a disappointment in Cancelo, but it could have been more. It's a bit frustrating that City managed to concede in that Wolves game. Diaz 12-pointer. I mean, he came out and he played really well. Target as well, not too bad in terms of defense. Now the midfield, disappointing. Fernandez, I mean, he just wasn't in positions that I wanted him to be in. I guess we take the 18-pointer, considering all the other premium assets didn't really return either, bar from Son, who should have been my captain this week in hindsight. Gundogan with a lucky assist at the end of one of them games. I mean, it is what it is. Now, here's the biggest robbery of this game week. Right here, Mr. Josh Madger should have come out of this double game week with a minimum of 11 points, realistically 20 points, because he should have scored 2 against Palace, but Guaita turned into a super god goalkeeper. And then Madger had a goal wrongly disallowed. And this morning, the FA have in fact changed the handball rule. So, it just sums it up, doesn't it? The Madger wave is rising. There is nothing anyone can do to stop it. Over the next couple of weeks, we will expect returns. And then the bench, it was a good job I didn't bench boost, because I would have had a grand total of 5 points on the bench. But yeah, sums up my team in total. Calvert-Lewin disappointing as well. But yeah, I mean, we'll take that. It's a green arrow at the end of the day. I think I rose about 40 or 50k in rank. So we'll take them ones.
Yeah, I mean, a green arrow is always positive. Yeah, I mean, like I think everyone knows that it was probably the biggest double game week of the season, or maybe in like few seasons. And yeah, I think a green arrow is definitely a win.
Yeah, 100%. I think everyone was so disappointed because the fixtures on paper, they were just so good. And obviously, when you look at it now, and it's only really Son out of the premiums getting big returns, it was just not ideal for everyone who obviously looks forward and plans for this double game week.
Yeah. So we'll move on. Vicki or Dinesh, which one would you like to go first and share your game week 26 scores?
Okay, I'll go. Yeah.
He's right in there.
It's just waiting to show off.
I'm expecting a big scorer then.
Give me a minute.
Yeah, no worries, man.
Okay, can you all see it?
Yep.
Yeah, we can.
God, there we go.
Wow,
there we go. No wonder he wanted to go first.
Okay. So yeah, I played a bench boost. And actually took a -8, which I was kind of regretting, but I did not have much of a choice because I felt that some of my players were not going to give me like sufficient points for this game week. Yeah, so basically Martinez in goal. No surprises over there. Even though I was a bit disappointed with the Sheffield game, I mean, I expected at least probably a clean sheet. Yeah, I think 12 points is pretty decent for 2 games. Loughton was quite a bit of a disappointment, actually. I mean, I expected a bit more, but I think they lost 4-0 to Spurs. Yeah. So that kind of hit them a bit hard, and maybe that's why the points were not there. Diaz and Stones, yeah, I'm very satisfied with their points. I mean, I kind of regretted not captaining them, actually, but I was a bit skeptical of whether they're going to play both the games. Like, I think Stones only played the first game. And midfield, pretty much the same as it's pretty much a template midfield, I guess, with Son, Salah, Fernandez, and Gundogan. A little disappointed with Bruno, of course. Yeah, I mean, both games blanking and there's no attacking returns. But I mean, hopefully going forward, he can give me a bit more points. Forward, I have Watkins, Bamford, Calvert-Lewin. Watkins, okay, I'll take the 7 points. But Bamford and Calvert-Lewin, yeah, I wish I had a bit more points from them, like anyone else would. On the bench, I was actually most impressed with Sam Johnston because of the 12 points, and I think the first 10 points came from the first game because of the number of saves he made. So I was kind of impressed by that. Barnes, yeah, it was quite a unforeseen, injury and stuff. So I guess we got to, live with it. And Dallas and Shaw, yeah, Shaw. I mean, I was happy because I transferred Shaw in. So yeah, 12 points is pretty decent, and overall about 27 points on the bench. I mean, I would take it definitely. So it's a green arrow from I jumped from like 25,000 to 12,000. Yeah.
That's
Really
very
good rank.
good. You love
Really
to
good
see
rank.
it.
Yeah, of course. It's a good feeling because I mean that's the highest rank I have reached this season. So yeah, pretty happy with it.
Yeah, it's very nice. I love the bench boost. Sam Johnston absolutely pulled out of the bag for you, which is great to see. I love those little hidden picks. We love those over here.
Yeah.
And it's 22 more points than I had on my bench. Where am I going wrong?
Need those West Brom
I mean-
defenders, Brownell.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess
I mean, it's a good thing you didn't bench boost then. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a good thing. You're right. Vicky, how did you do this week? Have you got your team? I'm just seeing in the comments. Allegedly, Glenn has brought in Iheanacho.
No, he hasn't. That's so much cap on that.
Allegedly.
Here we go. Oh, is Vicky on mute?
I think she is.
All right, can you hear me?
There we go.
Sorry, I was muting myself because he was talking. So
No worries.
yeah, it's a pretty same team like Dinesh. Like we have the same team, but I went for triple captain myself this week, and I took a -8 as well. Yeah, I was really thinking, should I just take a -8 or should I just like go for? I had what's his name, Inks, actually, and I was thinking, should I just play Inks against for the next double game week, but everyone's going for Kane, so I just wanted to have Kane, just need to have him. So it was the -8, and so Martinez, like 12 points, is pretty awesome actually, is his points. And Diaz and Stones, I mean, these defenders like scoring for City is like pretty major hauls. And Salah was disappointing. Fernandez, actually, I switched my triple captaincy from Kane to Fernandez at the very last minute because I was thinking like, Bruno might just, go big for Crystal Palace mainly, but that was a major letdown. And Gundogan and 6 points. Son was quite good. Lukman was basically, I took Rafinha out for Lukman because I needed some cash. But since Lukman plays in the blank game with 29, I'll probably just keep him all the way then. And then Kane and Calvert-Lewin. I think Calvert-Lewin was the biggest disappointment for me because it was part of my -8 transfer. So my bench is Sanchez, Dallas, Bamford, and Sufol. But I didn't bench boost because these guys didn't give me any points. So I'm in 15K now. I was actually in 16K, so it wasn't much of a major major rank jump, but 1K. But I will still take a green arrow since it's so good and better than expected actually.
Yeah, unreal ranks from the both of you. You definitely know what you're doing in your household. That's for sure.
I mean, we talk a lot, like. We try not to go too because Dinesh is not on Twitter. I'm on Twitter, so he gets a lot of this intel from me, and he tries to
He's playing it smart. He's playing it smart.
Yeah. Actually, it's me helping him out, guys. Like, so he takes all the tips from me and stuff. to give me the glare. So we try not to keep the team too similar, but we have our own players like he had Watkins and like he had Calvert-Lewin much earlier than me, and like I just brought them in right now. So we'll see how it goes. Like we both have ideas of like replacing some players, but yeah, we can talk about it as the show goes on.
Yeah, awesome. It's good to know. It's an interesting dynamic that you have. But yeah, go on then, Ben. I know you've been waiting so long for this moment.
It's my favourite moment of the week. It is the FPL trivia quiz time. Now, I mean, I love this every week. The pressure is immense in this. Josh, whilst we're getting these questions up, do you want to go through the rules of this game?
Indeed. So you have 60 seconds. I'll get the stopwatch up in a minute, and you have to answer as many FPL / your favorite team questions. The lowest score we've had is 0.5, so you can't really get much worse than that. And then I think the highest we've had is 7 with the FPL Don. An absolutely unreal performance, weren't it, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, he's been the top scorer for 2 months, maybe now, 2 or 3 months.
I reckon it's longer. It was so long ago. It feels
he needs to be dethroned. So this quiz is, as Josh said, FPL, and I've put it as a Liverpool-based one because FPL Vicki on Twitter. So, guys, do you understand the rules? Dinesh, if you feel like you know one of the answers as well, feel free to hop in if you feel like Vicki doesn't know the answer.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, we've got to
be
stop
more than willing to help.
Guys in the chat, make sure you're answering the questions as we go along as well. 3, 2, 1. Which Liverpool asset scored the most FPL points in Gameweek 26?
Robertson.
Alexander-Arnold. What price is Alexander-Arnold currently on FPL?
7.2.
7.4. How many clean sheets has Liverpool kept in the Premier League this season?
7.
Correct. Liverpool's top goal scorer is Mo Salah, but how many Premier League goals does he have so far?
17.
Correct. Other than Salah, who has the most FPL points out of the Liverpool assets this season?
Robertson.
Sadio Mane. Which player has picked up the most yellow cards in the league this season for Liverpool?
Fabinho.
Correct. What price is Firmino currently on FPL?
9.3.
9.2. Who has played the most minutes in the Premier League for Liverpool this season?
Robertson.
Correct. Who has more FPL points this season, Wijnaldum or Alisson?
That's time.
Alisson.
We'll give the last
him that.
We'll give the last question.
That was a good running from the pair of you there. That was really decent. I think you got 5, if I'm not mistaken.
5.
Oh,
That was 5.
I think it's all the price questions. Those are the tricky ones.
Yeah,
because they change
all the
they
fluctuations
change.
and stuff. Yeah.
Good to see the chat. The chat getting involved as well with it.
Thanks for helping out.
Awesome. That was good little segment. I think 5. You got to be happy with that. You're not going to be sad with your 0.5 like we had with Kieran before. So good display from both of you. So now we'll move on to is it game week 27 now? They're coming so fast. We'll look at the fixtures. Obviously, only Man City and Southampton have a double this week, so nothing major like we had in previous weeks. What fixtures are the pair of you looking forward to the most in terms of your FPL assets? Where are you going to see the most points from?
For 27, right? I think it has to be the City double games. I mean, it's no-brainer there. It's just now we got to there's no point figuring out Pep's rotation. But like you saw earlier, my team has Diaz and Stones and Gundogan. So my captaincy is probably going to be on him, Gundogan. So I think there is major points there because they're playing against who are they playing against next week? Southampton, is it?
No. Southampton and United, both of them.
Yes. So I think they could easily score against both teams. So I think there's some returns there. But I don't think that we should be going even for Southampton assets right now because they are quite bad in form. Like even their defenders, if anyone you could consider is probably Ings because he's on penalties. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. Dinesh, who are you targeting towards? Are you sort of thinking the same?
Yeah, apart from the Man City assets, I would say probably the game that I'm looking forward to is Leeds and West Ham,
Mm.
because I believe that most players, I would say that I would probably have at least like 4 players in for that game, and I do expect it to be quite a high scoring game, considering the fact that actually Leeds has one of the, I think, if not the worst defenses from set pieces, and West Ham might be able to capitalize on that, especially with Suchek. Antonio is quite a goal poacher as well, and of course we have Lingard. He's like the most transferred in this week. Um, Even though I feel that I might not actually bring in Lingard, because I feel that the following game he's playing against United. I mean, he can't play against United, and so it's going to be like sitting out the next game. I mean, to me, I feel that I don't think Lingard is a player to go for me. But I feel overall, and I feel actually quite excited for the Leeds West Ham game more than anything.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned that. I've been looking at Aaron Cresswell, obviously the set piece taker for West Ham. Leeds terrible defensively from set pieces. So I think if you have Cresswell, Souček, those kind of guys, I think you could be in the points this week for sure. Ben, what are you thinking about these fixtures this week?
It's a lot of fixtures that you think, it's not a great week in terms of fixtures, but it's also one of those. It's like every fixture seems to be about the same level of difficulty for each team. Like, it's going to cause plenty of headaches for benching this week, especially. I mean, I know I've messed around with my team probably 7 or 8 times since game week 26 has finished, leading up to game week 27. But the fixture I maybe want to target is probably the Man City defenders, because we all know how Man United do against the top 6. They just haven't been scoring goals recently, and as well their goal scoring form as of late. I'd quite fancy a couple of City defenders in there this week. In terms of other fixtures, the West Ham Leeds one, I agree, it's a good fixture to target. But other than that, there's even that Tottenham Palace one. Could we see Tottenham scoring a lot of goals against this Palace side, who all of a sudden have shored up defensively? I'm not too sure.
Yeah, it is going to be interesting. I think there might be a few shocks this week, a few players that maybe everyone sort of wrote off, maybe coming back to return some points this week. So should be a good one. Definitely looking forward to it a lot. What are we moving on to next, Ben?
We'll reveal our game week 27 captain pick and team reveal. Now, obviously, a little bit of time before the deadline. It's tomorrow, isn't it, the deadline? So
yeah, tomorrow morning.
I mean, I'll show mine first. This could all change, but
it will all change.
It probably will all change. So this is what I've gone with at the moment. Now, in goal, I've got a headache of a decision. I don't want to make a goalkeeper transfer for my plans for 29. So I've stuck with Areola in goal over McCarthy, who has been dropped. I've captained Ruben Diaz. Now, Ray, if you're watching, do we back it again? Do we go back on the Ruben Diaz train again? I mean, I'm currently sat on that captaincy pick. I'm sure on Twitter later there'll be some discussions about that. But at the moment, I've got the captaincy on him. I've gone Cresswell, Cancelo, and Target in the defence. I've gone with them over Stuart Dallas. It could all change. I'm still just undecided between Matty Target and Dallas. But because I've got Rafinha in that midfield as my lead sort of coverage, I'm quite happy to play Target. In the midfield, I'm not even sure I want to start Fernandez this week, to be completely honest with you. Man City away, difficult fixture for Man United. I don't see him getting many returns in that game. Ings up top on his own. He's got a good game away at Sheffield United, who have a lot of injury concerns. And Man City away as well. I mean, I don't expect him to get too much in that, but it's a double game week play. You've got to have him in realistically. On the bench, I've got DCL, Dallas, and Maja. Now, I mean, you've got the two of the most prolific strikers in the league there, and Stuart Dallas. So it's a bit of a headache. I was late last night. I was thinking potentially just going all out and just you know what, I'll just bench boost it and see what happens. But I don't think I'm going to do it. I've told myself, Ben, don't be stupid. So that's how it looks at the moment. It could all change. I do want to work out a way of bringing in Dallas into the starting 11 and maybe even Madja based on Liverpool's home form. But yeah, that's how it's looking at the moment.
You have 5 double game week players there.
Yeah, with McCarthy.
Oh yeah, McCarthy's been dropped though. That's the only thing. I need to keep an eye on the Hassan Hussel press conference, and
he's not going to be the main keeper.
He's been dropped in recent
Yeah, apparently
weeks,
Forster is coming in now.
That's why he's on the bench at the moment. I might even start McCarthy, and if he doesn't play, he doesn't play.
Yeah. I mean,
then if he does play and he gets dropped for the Sheffield United game and then plays the Man City game, I'm in a bit of a sticky situation, aren't I?
Yeah, that's not ideal key for Sitch for you. Do you want to bring my team up and then I'll have a little talk through it?
Of course.
Yeah, so this is what we're looking at right now. No real dilemmas, I wouldn't say. They're just, I think, your standard FPL decisions. Got Martinez in goal, hoping for the same old Emi Martinez. Been unreal since I brought him in. I wish I brought him in sooner, to be honest. Starting Luke Shaw against City, I just don't see a lot of goals in that game. And I think, and you've seen United this season, top 6 games, they're like pretty much all 0-0. So I'm going to risk it because, as you'll see on my bench, the defenders aren't really up to scratch because obviously I went all in on the bench boost. Ben White against Leicester. I don't really like the look of Leicester right now in terms of attacking with all their injuries and even defensively with all their injuries. So I'm maybe hoping, hope is a strong word, for a clean sheet there. Cancelo, it's got to please just play both games for once. That would be unbelievable. I'm really regretting taking out Stone. I had Stones and Cancelo, so it's sort of like, it seems like when Stones plays, Cancelo doesn't. So I'm really sort of regretting that from my wild card. But we move on. Bruno Fernandez, he'll probably stay in my team. If United are going to score, he's going to be part of that. So I don't really want to risk any sort of points there. I just feel like benching that sort of premium asset, it's just, you just as well sell them if you're going to do that. Bernardo Silva, like I mentioned before, we went live. I think he tends to play very well against Man United. Whether he actually plays or not, it will be interesting because obviously he played, I think, like 80 odd minutes in the last game. Mo Salah, Fulham at home. He's probably the most likely to get transferred out. Haven't made a decision yet. Fulham at home, though, is quite a good fixture, but Fulham are quite decent defensively. So it'll be a wait and see job there. Gundogan's on my captaincy at the minute, mainly because I don't have Diaz. I'd probably back the Diaz shout with Ben because I think it's the safest option. And right now, there's not a lot of safe options in FPL. So I'd probably go with that. But Gundogan, a lot of people are scared because De Bruyne is back with his positioning. But if you look when they play and look at the heat maps, De Bruyne tends to play quite deep on the left because he's obviously getting those crosses in. Gundogan's allowed to roam and go forward, as we saw for his assist. He obviously had that shot on goal, which led to the assist. So I'm more than happy to captain him this week. Rafinha, unreal player. If he was in a top 6 side, he'd have probably 10 goals, 10 assists this season. He's so creative. Really loved owning him. Harry Kane's on the vice. He might get the captaincy armband, but he's just let me down in that double game week. So I'm a bit risky letting him have that, considering he's missing chances left, right, and centre. Patrick Bamford starting. He hasn't been playing too well recently, a couple blanks here and there, but he'll come through and I'm sure maybe even get some goals this week or next. West Ham are good defensively though, so whether I stick with this Leeds double up, I have to wait and see. Bench wise, we've got Areola, obviously Liverpool away, it's not a great fixture. Calvert-Lewin, he's just, since his injury, doesn't seem to be up to scratch. Obviously got that penalty against Liverpool, that's his only return since he got injured. I am sort of regretting bringing him in, to be honest, because I'm not really enjoying watching him play. He's missing sitters too. El Mohammadi, he probably plays against Wolves. I don't think Cash is back yet, but I don't know if I would prefer him against instead of Ben White, because obviously I have that Martinez coverage, and then obviously Struijk as well against West Ham. I don't see Leeds keeping a clean sheet whatsoever, and obviously he's only like 3.9 million, so he's pretty much bench fodder. So yeah, that is me lining up for this game week.
Yeah, it looks like a very decent, strong team actually. Good captaincy choices. Three double game week players. Yeah, and Leeds assets, I think it's up for good points return this week.
Yeah, it should be an interesting one.
I'm liking the look of that team. Obviously, Gundogan is probably the obvious captaincy choice this week, but you know me, I'm not about that life.
Outside the box, Ben.
Well, I'm just more confident on City keeping a clean sheet than them to score with Gundogan against United. So
yeah, I'd agree with that.
I think it would be a clean sheet game, probably. Yeah.
Dinesh, you've got your team up. Talk us through it. I think he's muted as well.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No worries.
Yeah, I've actually not decided on my team yet. I mean, I'm not too sure who I'm going to start. Who am I going to captain and stuff. This is actually my previous week's team. I haven't said anything. Okay, probably I'll stick with Martinez in goal, but I'm a bit 50-50 on Johnston because he's playing against Newcastle, who are actually not very strong in terms of attack at the moment. So I might actually, put Johnston in goal this week. Not decided. For defense, I mean, definitely I'm going to stick with DS and Stones and hope that they start both the games. It's hard to say though, but yeah, let's just hope for the best. Loughton, I might actually go with Loughton against Arsenal because it's a home game, and just hoping on a clean sheet for that. Yeah, in midfield, Son definitely against Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace haven't really been that good, but I don't know. Again, the last game against United, I think they kind of like defended well. They actually could have scored a goal against United, but I'm guessing actually with Son, Keane, and Bale up front for Spurs right now. I think Spurs definitely have the edge, and I see some goals definitely for Spurs in that game. So I'll start with Son. Salah, yeah, I'm actually going to give Salah probably just this last week to maybe prove himself, give me some returns. Else I might most probably take him out next week because I don't see Liverpool creating much chances or, being able to finish in terms of the last third. Fernandez, I would actually play Fernandez. I mean, my captaincy would not be on Fernandez, definitely. But I would still play him because I feel that if there's any goal coming for United, it will definitely be through Bruno. I mean, as what throughout the season has been. I'll probably gonna captain Gundogan and also hope that he starts both the games. I feel that against United, Pep would probably play his best, and I feel that Gundogan is probably his best attacking asset at the moment. Yeah, and up front I have Watkins, Bamford, and Calvert-Lewin. I'm most probably going to go with Watkins and Bamford, but I might probably leave Calvert-Lewin on the bench. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very strong team. Like the look of it as well. Obviously, you got Barnes on the bench. Are you planning on getting him out this week?
Yeah, I was thinking I'll probably bring in Rafinha for Barnes. But if I were to bring in Rafinha, then I would probably have to shake up my team again. Yeah, I haven't really decided what I want to do. Or either I might actually keep the transfer, 2 transfers for the following week, and at least I have like more options and at least plan a bit more for the blank game week 29. But yeah, I would probably leave Dallas on the bench as well as Shaw. Yeah, I mean, as much as I want to see United win the game or at least keep a clean sheet, but I think it's too much to ask for against City, who are really on form right now.
Yeah, fair play. So we move on to Vicky's team.
Yep, this is my team for now.
Awesome.
Yeah. Martinez. I mean, this guy is like amazing. This whole season is like the GOAT goalkeeper of all time. I don't think Wolves will be. I mean, they are a very attacking team, but they don't seem to be having too much of goals coming in without the talisman Jimenez. So I think like Villa could keep a clean sheet there, or at least Martinez would be giving some save points. And then of course I have DS, who's pretty much, I think, kind of like nailed to start most of the games for City. So hoping for him to start both games. And with Stones, I mean, I kind of think that without Stones, every time when Pep doesn't play Stones, City tends to concede. So hope that Pep sees this and like, okay, maybe he thinks that I should start Stones. And their pairing is actually pretty good at the back for City whenever DS and Stones start. So I'm really banking on Stones playing both games. And then there's Sufal, and he plays pretty well. I mean, for West Ham, he's a good defender. So I'm just hoping that I mean, because I have Bamford in front, but I'm just hoping for a clean sheet or something like that. So let's see how it goes. Salah against Fulham, I have to play him. Hopefully he's gonna score something, because Liverpool has been losing all the games. Pretty sad and depressing for me. But let's see that Salah can actually give some goals. And Fernandez, yeah, I mean, if anything, if United can win a penalty even against City, it would be Fernandez to take it. So why not, right? And then there's Gundogan, who's going to be the captain. Son, Bamford up front, whom I hope give some return against West Ham, but could be pretty tough. So, and then there's Kane and Calvert-Lewin. Calvert-Lewin, I think I might play him because I don't really like my defensive options here. I got Dallas here and Loughton and Lookman, so I don't think there's much attacking returns in this bench defenders here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and play with Calvert-Lewin. That's my team.
Good team. I like it. Another Gundogan captain, and now it's making me question everything.
He's shaking.
As to whether I should probably captain Gundogan, because it does seem like the most sensible choice, doesn't
I think
it?
he will be the highest captain this week. Like his EO would be really high. So if he does like score, I think those who don't captain him might be pretty hurt in ranks terms. Yeah, I don't see anyone else being captain, unless some people might be going for KDB, Kevin De Bruyne, or they might go for like the defenders, like you guys, like maybe DS or Stones or Cancelo. So it would be it would be a City player. So it's just, I think Gundogan will be the highest captaincy this week.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. It's going to be a good, interesting one. For me, myself, I think the reason why I'm doing so poorly this year, I had a check, the captaincy website where you can check how many returns you've had. I think I'm like literally nearly at 50% rate of captaincy, which is absolutely terrible. So that's probably my biggest downfall, to be honest, finding the best captaincy of the week. So yeah, I'll be looking probably towards Gundogan. Hopefully you can. How bad is that? I'm going to be cheering on Gundogan against Man United. Can't be having that.
You guys
Yeah, I know.
you guys have any tips left?
No, I literally used my last one, bench boost, last week.
So your triple captain, when did you use that?
I used my triple captain on De Bruyne on the other double. When he got injured in the second game, came off literally like just before 60. So not ideal, but we moved.
Yeah, I've still got my bench boost to use, and I've still got my second wild card, which I'm hoping to play game week 30 or game week 31 is the plan. But of course, we all know what FPL is like. Yeah. Could change at any given moment.
Yeah, I think that's the right time maybe to play the wild card, because there's the international break, right? So things might like shake up quite a bit, like you said. So we might need to, reshuffle our teams. Yep, that's good.
Yeah, so we'll move on to the final segment of the show. We're already at 45 minutes pretty much, so we'll do this as the last segment. Differential pick of the week. Now, we're going to ask you to pick someone out for this week who is under 10% owned, who you think is going to have a really good week. Now, I've got to find one, to be honest, myself. Josh, do you have a differential that you've got ready to
Yeah,
to point out.
I just want to check his ownership quickly because I know he's been brought in quite a lot. Yeah, he's very very low owned. So I'm going to go a little bit off the cuff. West Brom play Newcastle this weekend. I'm back in the Sam Johnston corner. Although it's not going to be Sam Johnston who I'm picking. Going to go Ainsley Maitland-Niles. He obviously plays in midfield for them. But he's marked down as a defender. I can see a clean sheet happening there. If they score, I'll be very surprised, Newcastle, because they've got no Almiron, no Wilson, no St Maximan. Like their attacking options are very, very small. So I think a clean sheet's almost in the bag for West Brom as long as they don't make any mistakes. So Maitland-Niles in midfield. I can even see him maybe even get some attacking returns too. A lot of people have been picking him in the past couple of weeks. I think this is probably the most ideal week to have a West Brom defender. So Ainsley Maitland-Niles, I think he's under 1%. Not a bad pick from me.
That's a good pick. I like that. Vicky, do you have a differential ready to share with us?
I'm thinking of the obvious one, Gareth Bale. I mean, why not, right? He's like 1.6 and he's been on form and starting most of the games. And he's going to be playing the blank game with 29. So get him in early and right now. And if you just need to, like swap Salah out for someone, then he could be your third Spurs asset with Kane, Son, and Bale. So I think, Bale would be my differential pick for this week against Crystal Palace.
Cool, I like that. Dinesh, do you have a differential ready to share with us?
Yeah, actually, I have two, but I would rather lean towards Mahrez. Yeah, Mahrez from City, because I think for the double game week, he was the highest. He got the highest points among all City players, and based on his form, I hope I believe Pep should be starting him as part of his strongest 11, at least for the game against United and hopefully the other game. So his ownership, I think, is probably less than 5% at the moment. I think he's a very good differential as compared to maybe like Kevin De Bruyne or actually Gundogan. Yeah.
Cool. I like it. For my differential of the week, I'm going for a Liverpool player. I'm going for Diogo Jota of Liverpool, because I feel like it's about time Klopp changed that system again to the 4-2-3-1 when Jota was playing just in that hole. And I think coming off the bench against Chelsea, he looked relatively lively, and I think he could do a really good job there for Klopp and kind of pick this Liverpool team back up and kind of put the pressure on his shoulders and start scoring goals. He's at 2.5% owned at the moment. I imagine after next week, it will probably be a lot higher. 6.6 million, great coverage for Salah. And that's my differential pick of this week.
Yep, I agree on Jota. Like, I think he would be a good pick for a good replacement midfielder for Liverpool assets. Yeah. He should be finding his form soon. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with him, especially with Mo Salah. Obviously, like, he's half the price of Mo Salah. So if he's getting the same amount of returns, it'll be almost a no-brainer to bring him in, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. At least some new blood back into the Liverpool squad. I believe when he was playing before he got injured, he gave quite a good returns. I think over two or three games. So yeah, if I agree with Jota being a good differential, the coming game weeks.
Yeah, so that is all we have time for today. It feels like this show has flown by again. Thank you very much, Vicky and Dinesh, for coming on, sharing your insights. I mean, it's two top 20k players in the world. Thank you for coming on, guys.
Thank you. It's our pleasure.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been fun, and looking forward to more in the future. Yeah.
Yeah, massive thanks for coming on. It's been a good time. Loads of good insight from these really good FPL players. Much better than me and Ben, that's for sure.
All good at home. All good at home.
Yeah, so as always, please like, comment, subscribe, follow Vicky on Twitter. We've left her link in the description down below, so you can go check her out. Some good FPL content on there. I know today we haven't answered any questions or any comments. We'll be doing live streams later on TikTok and that sort of thing. So any questions, just keep an eye on our socials. And I've been Ben.
I've been Josh.
Nice meeting you all. Good night.
And we'll see you guys
Bye-bye.
later.
See ya.